y Deporte.
Watch this.
Afuera.
¡Fuera! ¡Afuera!
Ministerio de Cultura. Afuera.
¡Afuera!
Uno más.
Ministerio de Ambiente y Desarrollo Sostenible. Afuera.
That gets really
Otra
bad.
vez.
Ministerio de las Mujeres y Género y Diversidad. Afuera. Ministerio de Obras Públicas. Afuera.
Argentina. All right. They elected a libertarian candidate. And I say this because I know that there are differences politically between different countries. They mean different things. What you would even consider very libertarian. This person, Javier. Now, is it Milei or Milei?
Milei.
It is Milei. Okay, I thought it was Milei, and then you corrected me.
Milei, you lay.
Yeah. Yes.
We all lay.
I didn't correct you.
Just not Maggie.
No lay. Please, no lay.
Okay. All right. So Milei, bet you can't elect just one, is going to be the new president of Argentina.
Argentina elected the right-wing libertarian Javier Milei as its new president on Sunday. Voters rolled the dice on an outsider with radical views to fix an economy battered by runaway inflation, giving Milei, an economist and former TV pundit, a clear win with 56% of the ballots.
And
Nice.
I know you usually don't elect a Charles Dickens character.
You don't. But in this case, Argentina.
I love this guy, dude.
He's hilarious.
He is hilarious. Okay,
I want him to be my president.
Now I'll get
see.
into how this probably goes. To be clear, Pinochet wasn't all wrong, and we'll do a segment on that. But look, you have to understand the socialist government, right? Chile, and people were saying the great Chilean success story back then when Pinochet was there. Now I get it. They had these awful socialists. They would always have these coups. They would have guerrillas. This is what happens in South America because they don't have the kind of constitution that we do. That being said, Pinochet improved the economy. A few people got thrown from some helicopters.
Yeah.
That happens.
As you do.
But
Gotta break a
there's
few
still a lot
eggs.
of people who like him there because of the kind of choice that they have. The pendulum swings back and forth. And we'll get into why the pendulum has now in Argentina swung so far right, certainly for that country. First off, President Donald Trump issued a congratulations to Milei saying, "Congratulations to Javier Milei on a great race for president of Argentina. The whole world was watching. I'm very proud of you, like my son. I wish you were my son.
Oh, no.
You will turn your country around and truly make Argentina great again."
That's soccer.
Yes.
what it is.
I don't know if they're good at soccer. I know Miss Universe, no one can touch them.
That's true. Yes.
They're perfect.
They won the World Cup, I think. I don't know.
They are like the
did.
MVPs of Miss Universe or Miss World, whatever it is.
Well, now it's
many
Mr.,
years.
but
Yeah,
Yeah,
not
well,
Mr. when it's this
Mr.verse.
kind of thing. And Miss Universe tastes great on a cracker. Just saying, it's like Milei twist. So, Milei describes himself as an anarcho-capitalist, and he's an eclectic
A little
chap.
bit.
So to give you a little and I love this. For example, he lives with 5 English Mastiffs. 4 of them are clones of the original.
what?
It was a great dog.
It was
What
a
do you
great
do?
dog. I thought about doing that with Hopper, and you know
Yeah.
what? Then now I'll never do it because I wouldn't have ended up with Joe Louis. But I understand it. If you love a dog, if you have the money, you can rock those sideburns. Make it happen. He was
Do
a
it.
Former rock band lead singer. I
I'm
guess.
sorry, that's a real thing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
you can
real.
clone your animals.
This happened.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Yeah. He lives with 4 clones. It's like multiplicity with English Mastiffs.
Attack of the Clones? That's awesome.
God, I hope not. Those are big dogs.
Yeah, they are.
He was a former professional soccer goalkeeper. I
That's
didn't know that.
impressive, yeah.
Former tantric sex coach. And
More impressive.
And he's converting to Judaism, which I was like, is he marrying a Jew? He's just doing it. I think he's just the ultimate troll.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
No one converts to Judaism. First off, they're not even asking you to convert, and it's not fun.
Well, and you go from being a tantric sex coach to converting to Judaism.
Yes.
Like, it might be limiting.
Yeah.
Hey, he's maturing.
You go from opening up the hips to complaining about your hip.
We're going to do some work down south. Wait, it's just
Listen, don't do that with all the bending and the downward dogging with the cloning.
Yeah.
Why is it always hot here?
It's hot.
It's
Let's
always
bring
hot
in the Gamoil.
Argentina.
Come on now. Come on. All right. But here's the thing, and we'll get into the numbers as to why they elected him. But above all else, Milei hates.
Yes.
He reviles leftists. So the reason I say this is because there can be no, we didn't know. They knew.
Oh, yeah.
They elected him by a large margin, 56% of the vote.
Yeah, that's
a
massive.
pretty big margin. And that when I say this guy hates the left, he's been very open about it. And the public said, yeah, we want that guy. It's more than anything. I wish I hated anything or loved anything as much as this guy hates the left.
al zurdo de mierda no le podés dar ni un milímetro.
¿Me podés definir zurdo de
Mierda means
mierda?
exactly what you think
Todos
it
los
does.
que, digamos, los colectivistas, los que ponen, digamos, o sea, esa idea. A ver,
¿Por qué le pones de mierda, digamos?
Porque son una mierda. Tienen las pelotas, voy a pedir Estado. El Estado, metete en el orto, la concha puta de tu madre.
For those in audio, it's exactly what you're picturing.
He's making salsa? What is it?
Tipo y deporte.
Watch this.
Afuera.
¡Fuera!
¡Afuera!
Ministerio de Cultura. Afuera.
¡Afuera!
Uno más.
Ministerio de Ambiente y Desarrollo Sostenible. Afuera.
That gets really
Otra
loud.
vez.
Ministerio de las Mujeres y Género y Diversidad. Afuera. Ministerio de Obras Públicas. Afuera.
¡Afuera! By the way, for those who are listening on audio, that's he's saying like ministry, diversity, equity, gone.
Yeah, gender studies, gone. Public works, gone.
Yeah. This is a guy who on air, looking like Ebenezer Scrooge, said, if the leftists would rather die, then they'd better do it.
Are there no leftist prisons?
Are there no poorhouses? Oh, that's right, I close them. Afuera!
Hello, young boy. What day is it? Election day, you say?
Yes, 56% of the vote. I want you to go there into that window and hang my political dissidents. The one as big as me? Oh, remarkable lad. Yes, kill him. Now, here he is, Milei, celebrating the win. Look, he's taking the proper safety precautions, so it's like no one is at risk. I'm not going to.
It's like Dirty Dancing.
But I do have to ask, before we get into the policy, and today's a silly day, why did he go with the 70s Roman Polanski hairdo as well? It's just...
He's got to be hot under that thing.
He lives in South America. It's hot there.
Yeah. Dickens' haircut, I would not picture Argentina to be the best place to do it. Okay. So,
Looks like a Hogwarts professor.
you know what? I don't care. Like, this is the beauty of it. They would tell they tell you to get this kind of haircut and point with your thumb. And then in the States, you have Donald Trump. And here you have this guy. People say, we don't care anymore. We don't care. It's sort of like you see this with politics, and I think it's a good thing, like you saw with media. Oh, everything would have to be slick and professional, and you're on a sound stage. And now people say, we want people to be accurate, but we want some authenticity. I think that's a good thing.
Yes.
Hey, is this guy qualified? Maybe not. But the truth is, you're seeing people saying what we've been doing has not been working.
He's out Donald Trumping Donald Trump.
He is.
Which is really hard to do.
It is.
Yes, very much so. And to the fact that, there's a lot of things Donald Trump will say that I'm like, oh, he sounds genuine. This guy, I feel like he means everything he
He
says.
just hates
Oh, yeah.
them.
Because they're shit.
Yeah, he said that. He's like,
Yeah,
why are you calling the leftist shit? Because they are shit. You tell me what they are.
Stupid.
It's
Yeah.
kind of like Donald Trump saying, because it's from China. It's like,
China.
what?
That's what the virus is. It's from China. Where do you think it's from? Argentina? They're doing great. Milei. You're just Mr. Malaise. So Milei was elected, of course, the economy, right? The Argentinian economy is doing really poor. The inflation rate, this is from Reuters. All the references are available at ladderwithcrowder.com. I have a few up here. Inflation is 143%. The Fed interest rate is 133%. GDP is negative 2.5%.
That's hard to do.
I heard this. I listen to NPR all the time, so you don't have to.
Thank you.
And
Thank you, Stephen.
this morning
so
when I
much.
heard
Thank
it,
you
their
for your
briefing, it said 143%. I'm like, oh, they must have meant to say 43.
Yeah.
Or they must have meant to say 100. No, it's 143%.
Still high. And you thought like a 7% mortgage rate was really high. Talk about an interest rate of 133%.
Yes. And how did they get there? You can go through the history sort of the economy in Argentina. So since the 1980s, the central bank has had, I guess, sort of loose monetary policy, you could say.
Yeah, some would say.
Yeah, more pesos in circulation, lower rates to increase borrowing.
Yeah.
According to the Harvard International Review, Argentina has deeply subsidized healthcare, energy, universities, and public transportation for its citizens, all of which the government can only afford to fund through the printing of more pesos.
So they just printed more money.
They printed
hand
more
out
money.
for social services, probably to stay in power.
Yes.
And that crashed the economy for everybody.
I mean, it's like when you hear people talk about Social Security, and it's the political third rail.
Yeah.
No one wants to acknowledge it. Just kick that can down the road for the people to be left holding the bag, because you'll be out of office.
Yeah.
That's what Argentina's been doing for a very long time. That's what a lot of these socialist countries have been doing for a very long time. By the way, even countries you see like Denmark, these sort of Nordic models that Bernie Sanders would point to, and they would say, hey, hey, stop saying we're socialists. We were built on market economies, but they were certainly more left than we were. They had to veer back to the right to correct. That's the part they never tell you. Remember Bernie Sanders praising Venezuela and Chavez? Remember Sean Penn saying that he was a great hero and he thought it was criminal for Americans to vilify him? You're seeing the same thing with Argentina. If you see something that seems to be a centralized economy doing well, you see the left point to it as a success, just add time. They did it with Cuba. Bernie did it with the USSR, for God's sake. He honeymooned there. That was his sandals. And
you should see it in January.
Yes, exactly.
Very cold and white.
Venezuela, they did it. They did it, and they've done it with the Nordic, which have had to change. So here we are. So his plan to fix the economy. Now, it may work, it may not. What I'm telling you is he has been open about this. Completely abolish the Argentinian central bank.
Yeah.
Cut 55% of interior ministries, what you would probably refer to as like social safety nets, a lot of welfare programs. Cut retirement and pension funds.
Afuera.
Afuera.
Is it, I thought it was like abuela.
No,
No, it's afuera. Afuera means out.
Oh, okay. All right. Because abuela is someone who's like a nanny, right?
The grandma.
Well, you wouldn't throw
He
your
was
grandma
yelling
out.
for his abuela.
The FBI, my abuela's going to take care of it.
Chancla.
His grandma's taking up all the jobs.
Abuela. Oh, no me gusta. Is the abuela.
This summer.
The sequel, Abuela in Space. He also, leprechaun, I guess. Abuela in the Hood. Abuela in the Hood too.
Abuela dos.
Yes,
El Leprechauno.
Yes. All right. So abolish the central bank there, cut 55% of interior ministries, cut retirement and pension funds, and by the way, be open about it. So in other words, the public has said, okay, we get it. This isn't going to work. And he also wants to switch to the American dollar.
Yeah, it's a little more stable than the peso.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, it is a big deal. So right now there's actually a black market for the dollar, and I think the dollar since 2002 in the last 20 years up 60,000% in Argentina.
Wow.
Some would say that's a lot.
Yes.
It's a good return.
Yeah.
Golly.
I don't fully I'm not an economist. I don't fully understand how you just go. I mean, it takes a while. Like, okay, so today we're using pesos, and tomorrow is going to be the dollar.
Well, they outlaw some of those things, and then they're like, there's a black market. That's why a black market exists for it. Just allow it to be the thing, and people will go to it naturally, and it'll stabilize your economy a little bit.
And he's also been pretty straightforward about wanting to increase relations with and by the way, also wanting to sever some relations with other countries' trading partners. I believe Brazil was one of them. He talked about kind of basically people who are veering more left. He's saying they're not going to keep dragging us down with them. Wants to increase relations trade with the United States, and specifically also talks about cutting dependence on China.
Nuestros ejes fundamentales son el libre comercio, la paz, la libertad y alinearnos con Occidente, digamos, donde los máximos referentes en esto para nosotros son Estados Unidos e Israel.
Y en cuanto a China, es uno de los socios principales de comercio.
Bueno, serán socios comerciales del sector privado. Nosotros no hacemos pacto con comunistas.
Pero entonces, ¿qué harías?
We don't make pacts with communists.
¿Cerrarías las relaciones de Argentina con China?
Yo no promovería la relación con comunistas, ni con Cuba, ni con Venezuela, ni con Corea del Norte, ni con Nicaragua, ni con China.
O sea, para Venezuela vas a cambiar la política.
Obviamente.
Claramente.
That guy is, I mean, again, maybe something's lost in translation, but he just seems aggravated with the interview.
Yes.
These are stupid questions. Why would I make any deals with communist nations? Why would I want anything to do with them? This is someone who's seen it, lived it, and he's rejecting it. And the people have overwhelmingly rejected it.
Yeah, because their influence there. Don't think of the United States where we can still be a free nation and it's going to take a lot of time. Having a communist influence in a country like that, as prone to turmoil as South American countries are, can flip you to a communist regime very, very, very quickly. And it's like, no, look, you want to do business in China in the private sector? Fine. We're going to align ourselves with the United States and Israel and be pro-West, pro-freedom, pro-democracy, open markets. Done.
They've been seeing it happen for a while.
Yeah.
And they have an election, so they have the ability to change things.
Yep.
I think a lot of Latin American countries are very proud. They're very proud of their culture. They're very proud of their countries. They're very proud of where they come from. And the fact that all of them are moving out of South America pisses them off. They don't want to have to move.
Right.
They want to stay where they want to stay, and that's good for Argentina. They get to be the one country there to kind of...
Yeah.
Good job.
It'll be interesting to see. So let's kind of recap this. They've elected a pro-United States, a small government president. Okay. This is going to be a contrast. You're going to see this play out with a lot of other Latin American leaders. For example, you can compare this directly to Brazil, where they decided to go, my left, your right, a little bit. Which policies will work, which policies won't. That's one thing that you kind of see, by the way, with Chile, just to be clear. Not saying that Pinochet wasn't a fascist, but think that a lot of people don't remember what was happening before Pinochet. I think people aren't remembering what was happening as far as the economy there. And there's a reason that a lot of Chileans there are saying, yep, if we could have those qualities without the fascism, without the helicopter rides, we'd like to do it because what we have been doing hasn't worked. And you're seeing this with Argentina. So don't let the left gaslight you. Let's keep track of this. Now, my one concern is they don't have a constitution. That's why it lends itself to fascism, to extremism, basically socialist governments who maybe then don't have legitimate elections ever again, or fascists who decide to jail political dissidents. It happens a lot more in South America, just like it happened a lot more in Europe. The closest thing that we have had to a fascist is the person in office right now. Don't let the left fool you and say that it was Donald Trump. Name me any political dissidents Donald Trump has jailed. We'll get to January 6th and what's happened with this administration right now, just to be clear. But that's the closest we have come. Compare that to what you've seen across South America. All right. We do know one thing, though, by the way. Their top export, they're planning on shifting their economy. And their top export, Miss Universe winners, is expected to skyrocket. That is still going to do very well. It's just nonstop with Argentina.
You got to, I think this is actually bad news, in fact. This is Miss Argentina married Miss Puerto Rico.
Oh,
that's, I mean,
no.
You can't take off number one picks like that. That's not
afuera!
Yeah, afuera!
Man. Are they making a movie by chance?
You have to go after like the ugly lesbians. That's fine. You just can't take nice, pretty women out of the pool for the day. The men, they'll get frustrated. Come on.
Yeah. Well, maybe they had a dad who looked like a tale of two Mileis.
Oh, boy.
I couldn't handle two of those guys, man. That'd be too fun.
Please, sir. Can I get... I said some more!
All right. Crossing chainsaws.
Fine. So what do you expect for their economy? Okay, just to be clear, comment below. This is something that's very interesting to watch unfold in real time.
Watch Ladder with Crowder live Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.